Welcome to another episode of Conversations One on One. Today, we want to talk about different forms of government. So, everyone says that they want freedom until freedom means chaos. Everyone says that they hate control until control keeps them safe. So what government do you really want? Let's talk about it. So the first type of government that we want to talk about is democracy. Everyone in the US should be familiar with democracy because that's the type of government that they say that we have. In a democracy, power is held by the people, through voting and things like that. And like I said, that's the government that we're currently supposed to be in right now. You get representation, freedom of speech, and accountability in a democracy. That's, like I said, these are the things that we're supposed to have in a democracy. A democracy can be slow, and majority can still ignore the minority. So, minority rights can still be violated.
I have a question. So when the president was saying that the talk shows couldn't say or mention anything about him or make any jokes about the guy that was murdered, that was a Trump supporter that was in the MAGA cult. So by him saying things couldn't be said by the comedians or by people on Instagram, or they will be arrested or their accounts will be deactivated, are we then in a true democracy?
Well, we're still in the democracy, and our Constitution is supposed to uphold freedom of speech. Now, what he was doing, I believe, was trying to violate people's constitutional rights, because that's where that freedom of speech comes in at. Maybe he thought he was trying to be king or something like that, but the things that he wants to do, he's not able to do because the judge calls it unlawful or it's illegal to do it that way. So as much as he may want to try to be a dictator, our checks and balances system within this democracy won't allow him to do that. Now, if the government type changes, that's different, but I don't see it changing anytime soon. So good luck with him trying to be king. Speaking of democracy, we have something within our democracy called capitalism. Now, I believe that capitalism in this country causes our democracy not to work like it's supposed to. And but what I'm talking about is the people who have the money controlling what goes on in the country. They'll pay lobbyists. They will, they'll pay to put a certain person in office. If you have people manipulating the things that happen behind the scenes, is it really a democracy? But that can be a topic for another video.
Man, I had so many questions, so many things to say.
Yeah, so we're going to get into some other types of government, and we can come back to what you wanted to ask, some of those questions. So democracy sounds great in theory, but it can depend on how divided or how together the people are within that country. So let's move on to the next one. A republic. In a republic, it is a form of democracy where elected representatives make decisions on behalf of the people, guided by a constitution or laws. Now, we're supposed to be a democracy, but if you all know, in the Pledge of Allegiance, it mentions a republic. You know that Pledge of Allegiance you had to say with your hand over your heart, and to the republic for which it stands. Hey, that brings up another question. What type of government are we really living in? I'll let y'all answer that in the comments below. All right, the next form of government is a monarchy. So a monarchy is a government where the power is held by a king or a queen or a royal family. If you all know, the UK, Great Britain or whatever, Europe over there, that particular country, they have a monarchy. Those who like the idea of continuity, one vision guiding the country for generations. Some people who want the same leader in power for generations may favor a monarchy. I can't imagine any of those people now, but like I said, they have a monarchy in England. So, hey, that's how they're getting down over there. And some people still living over there, they happy with that. So, hey, whatever floats your boat or finds your lost remote. How do you feel about a monarchy?
Because I haven't been governed under a monarchy.
A monarchy?
Before, I have no idea how I feel under one. But I know Trump, he's trying to let everybody know how I feel to be under monarchy.
The next form of government that we're going to talk about is authoritarianism, or a dictatorship. In a dictatorship, you often have one person or a small group that have absolute power, and there are no elections, so you don't vote for anything. They make all the decisions despite what the people think. Some countries who get down like this is North Korea. There's some others. I just can't think of them right now. I would think a dictatorship would be chaotic. Maybe not if people just follow the rules and everything, you know. The dictator makes all the decisions, and it is what it is. If you don't like it, you can die.
Or leave the country.
They cannot leave North Korea.
They can't?
No.
I thought that that's why South...
No. Who you know from North Korea?
Hold on, wait a minute. I thought that's why they was fleeing.
The ones who could make it.
But they can flee.
With the threat of getting killed.
Well, if I had the choice of do what I say do or die, I'm gonna flee. But that sounds like slavery to me.
But all I'm saying is the people of North Korea cannot freely leave the country.
Does that sound like slavery to y'all?
Of course, it definitely sounds like slavery. But there's a lot of slavery still going on in different forms. The United States workforce is another example.
Yeah. And we have a video on that one as well.
Exactly. The plantation business model. So I'll put a card up here on the screen. Y'all go check that out after this video. The next one is socialism. In a government that is socialist, people share control of major industries and resources. And it aims to reduce inequality. Everything is spread out amongst the people and government. Mm-hmm. We had a guy called a black leader named Fred Hampton, who advocated for socialism. All power to the people, So it was a positive thing. It helps out the poor. It keeps things equal. You don't have this 1% that's over everything and in control of everything.
I like socialism. I think that's the direction that we should head. We have a new governor in New York that supports socialism. And I think he's going to do amazing things. I think for centuries, this country has been run on capitalism. Capitalism that started on the backs of slavery. Mm-hmm. So I think if this system is going to change, then the system needs to change. If we don't demand change, then things are going to always stay the same for us. Not so much for them, but for people. It's for us. So, yeah, capitalism has been running this country for years. So I think it's time to try something else.
So, yeah, the pros of socialism is it reduces income gaps. It offers universal healthcare and education. Now, there are some caveats to it. Just a couple. Like, socialism can reduce motivation, risk of inefficiency, and government overreach. So that's basically saying
the things we deal with now. The things we're dealing with now.
I'm saying because things are equal, some people believe that a socialist government would not have people wouldn't work hard in that type of government. That's what some people believe. But I don't believe that. I believe that if we encourage everyone to play their part and we taught people to do that and raised our children to do that, then it will be common amongst people to do that. Everyone play their part.
I'm thinking that the corporations are the ones that said that, because the corporations make their money off of capitalism.
Yes.
And of course they would speak against socialism because the wealth will be equally distributed then.
Mm-hmm.
So of course they would say, well, it will make people lazy because they won't be making the profit. I mean, if you look at everything that's happening right now with the economy, nobody is profiting except for the wealthy. They don't even want to give us they don't even want to give us a break on health insurance, people. Health insurance. But they have billions of dollars. Come on now. I'm for socialism.
Yeah, socialism, it definitely sounds like a positive direction for the people and something different to try out, being that a lot of people feel like capitalism has failed them. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next form of government that we're going to talk about is communism. Communism is a government where everything is collectively owned. No private property. Everyone is equal in theory.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of movies, even I've heard the president today, not today on this day,
Mm-hmm.
but I've heard him say that, the person is a commie, or they're a bad, a commie is not a good person to represent America, and you're a communist if you have a mind of a socialist, and they're quick to call people a communist. And I can't understand, like, why are you called a communist because you have a mind of your own?
It doesn't make sense, because a communist is clearly someone who would want everything to be collectively owned and there be no private property and everyone is equal. So if you're not talking about that, then you're not a communist. Now, I can agree with everything being equal, but no private property, like you don't own anything, then it's like you don't have anything to pass down to your children. So that's the only thing that I don't like about communism.
So if you're disillusioned with capitalism, that makes you a communist. So it's not really a bad thing. It's just saying you're against capitalism. But they've made it seem like the most hard, like you can go to prison for being a communist.
It seems like people who want to maintain power through money are against any type of other form of government.
Besides capitalism.
Well, besides democracy with capitalism included in that.
Democracy is disappearing too. So it's just leaving capitalism.
I don't think democracy is...
That's just my opinion.
As long as people are still able to vote, like they just had this election, there's still democracy. So let's move on to the next part of the next form of government.
I said, did you say that vote don't matter?
Because the people with the money, they pretty much run the country. So you could say that there's still the illusion of democracy, but there's no dictatorship or anything like that.
Yeah, them data centers gonna keep coming. I was told by someone that was very knowledgeable,
Mm-hmm.
that because the government is owned by tech now, that those data centers are gonna keep coming because they bought the government. So ain't no they closing the polls early when you have a vote on them. Down here they were. So I mean, hey, we've been bought by corporations. So
communist sounds good on paper, but at the end of the day,
it don't sound good. They've always made it sound bad.
But it often ends up being control disguised as inequality. But yeah, it's often shunned upon or looked down upon, and people were getting prosecuted in the United States if they were found out to be communists or support communism.
And that's only speaking against capitalism. That's what that is.
All right, let's move on to the next form of government. So the next form of government that we're going to talk about is theocracy. Within the theocracy, the government is ruled by religious leaders or laws based on religion. That used to be the lay of the land. The church used to be the government. That will be a theocracy. The whole world is a theocracy, the way they be worshiping this pope that be going around, but hey, that's another topic. That's another story. A theocracy is often found in traditional or conservative cultures. A theocracy would promote moral unity and clear values, on paper. But the cons would be that a theocracy could suppress religious freedom, diversity, and dissent. So you could be persecuted for being a different religion than what the religion of the government is. And we see this going on across the world. You have religious radicals, or whatever you want to call them, that feel like if you're not a certain religion, then you should die.
Everything is just die.
That's what it is. That's what's been going on in the history of the world.
You're right.
Look at how the U.S. became the U.S. They killed the people that were over here natively, and they brought more people over here to kill them too. So that's what history has been. Die, die, die. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to admit it, or they don't want to deal with it, but that's facts. Hey, you don't have a military to keep people alive.
So let me get this straight. The Christians were from Europe.
Yes.
And the Christians killed the Indians.
Yes.
So the Christians are doing all the killing.
You got to throw the Klan in there too, because that is a Christian organization. So really, no system of government is perfect. Each appeals to different values, whether it be freedom, order, equality, faith, or tradition. If you could design your own government, what would it look like? Leave the comments below in the comment section. Let us know what you think.
And I encourage all of you to do your own research. Study what these parts of the government mean. Study what a communist is, because they make it sound so bad on television and doing interviews, and it's only a person that doesn't agree with capitalism. Study what capitalism is. How did it start? What created it? And believe me, you will find out that it was built on the backs of slavery. Wall Street was built on the backs of slavery. If we want something new, if we want a change to come, we have to change the system.
Thank you all for watching. If you stay here to the end, we definitely appreciate it. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to purchase Malicious Intentions. We'll have a link for that below in the description as well. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
Peace.